Hello. Let me start by giving you an introduction to my speech. I'm going to talk about Friday the 13th and why it's considered to be unlucky. There are some terms that you'll need. The first one is DIY, or do it yourself. I'm going to refer to Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel. I'll also mention King Philip IV of France and the Knights Templar. The Knights Templar, but I will explain to you in this speech who they are. I'll mention the Costa Concordia cruise ship. And lastly, I'll mention the Blarney Stone in Ireland. There's a tradition in Ireland that if you kiss the Blarney Stone, you become very eloquent. Those are all the terms you'll need. So now I'll get started. Ladies and gentlemen, a few weeks ago, I took Friday off. It was Friday the 13th, as it happens, but I didn't give it a moment's thought. I had a few things around the house that needed to be done, and I wasn't able to do them myself. I'm afraid I'm neither interested nor talented when it comes to DIY. I needed a handyman, so I decided to ring a friend to ask her if she knew of any reliable handyman. When I told my friend I needed a handyman for Friday the 13th, she was horrified. She told me I was crazy to think about having any work done in the house on Friday the 13th, because it's unlucky. I was astounded. My friend is a sensible, well-educated, logical person. I would never have expected her to be superstitious. Yet here she was, openly admitting that she believed that Friday the 13th was unlucky. I wondered why any sensible, well-educated, logical person would believe such a thing, and I decided therefore to do some research on Friday the 13th. Why is it considered to be unlucky? Obviously, there are two elements here, Friday and the 13th. I'm going to start with the 13th. Why is this number considered to be bad luck? Here's what I found out. In Western cultures, the number 12 is associated with completeness. A day is made up of 2 periods of 12 hours. There are 12 months in the year. There are 12 zodiac signs, 12 days of Christmas. Jesus had 12 apostles. The number 13, then, is considered to be imperfect when compared to 12. There were 13 people at the Last Supper, Jesus and the 12 apostles. The number 13, therefore, became associated with Judas, the betrayer of Christ. This meant that 13 also became associated with imperfection, lack of completeness, with bad luck. It became something to be avoided. There are even some people who are afraid of the number 13. I didn't think it was possible to be afraid of a number, but fear of the number 13 really does exist. These people are so fearful of 13 that they won't ever sit in the 13th row of a plane. They won't set foot on the 13th floor of any building, and they refuse to stay in room 13 of any hotel. It all sounds a bit exhausting and over the top to me, but I have some pretty irrational fears myself, so I'm not going to mock people because of what they're afraid of. I think we've established then that the number 13 is definitely considered to be unlucky. What about Friday? Again, we can look to Western Christian traditions for a possible explanation. Traditionally, Friday was the day Jesus was crucified, Good Friday. Eve is said to have given the apple to Adam on Friday, and Cain is believed to have killed his brother Abel on a Friday. Leaving aside these biblical references, though, there is another possible explanation if we go back to the 14th century. King Philip IV of France arrested hundreds of Knights Templar on Friday the 13th of October, 1307. Who were the Knights Templar? They were a powerful religious and military order. King Philip wanted access to their financial resources, so he had hundreds of them arrested, imprisoned, and later executed. Most explanations of the bad luck associated with Friday the 13th refer to this historical event. So now we know why Friday the 13th is believed to be unlucky. But is there any real basis for this belief? Has anything really bad happened on Friday the 13th in more recent times? Well, yes, bad things have happened on Friday the 13th. Let me give you a few examples. Buckingham Palace was bombed by the Germans on Friday the 13th in 1940. That was in September. In 1970, a cyclone killed more than 300,000 people in Bangladesh. That was in November in 1970, as I said. The Costa Concordia cruise ship crashed off the coast of Italy on Friday the 13th. That was in January 2012, and 30 people were killed in that incident. There's quite a long list of bad things that have happened on Friday the 13th, but I remain unconvinced that it's an unlucky day. I'm pretty sure that if you checked whether bad things happened on other days, you'd get a long list too. Bad things happen all the time. It's just part of life. But back to Friday the 13th. If you believe it's an unlucky day, I have bad news for you. In some countries, there are other dates that are also considered unlucky. The Greeks believe Tuesday the 13th is bad luck. Spanish-speaking countries are also wary of Tuesday the 13th. In Italy, it's Friday the 17th that's considered to be unlucky. In case worrying about all these supposedly unlucky dates isn't bad enough, there's a whole list of other indicators of bad luck to watch out for. Breaking a mirror, for example. Walking under a ladder. Opening an umbrella indoors. All in all, there are so many different beliefs about indicators of bad luck. A superstitious person will have difficulty keeping track of them all. So if you are superstitious, allow me to recommend a few things to you. Get yourself a rabbit's foot, believed to be an indicator of good luck. Touch a chimney sweep, also believed to bring good luck. And if all else fails, kiss the Blarney Stone in Ireland. That way, if bad luck does strike, you just might be able to talk yourself out of trouble. Good luck.